welcome to Match of the Day, the first of a weekly series coming to you every Saturday on BBC Two. As you can hear, we're in Beetleville for this Liverpool versus Arsenal match.
These were the names, many of them household names in their own field, who became the first television characters of a football serial which would run and run. But the faces of the modern Arsenal and Liverpool, meeting today at Wembley in the Charity Shield, being on the box has long since been a way of life, with the snazzy shirts and emblazoned names part of the appeal to a wider audience. Football and television, a relationship which Jimmy Hill has a few thoughts about, and one which means a lot to us on this 25th anniversary programme of Match of the Day. Good evening. Tonight we combine the present and the past. The main action comes from the Tenants' Charity Shield, the champions against the Cup winners, featuring the same two teams, Arsenal and Liverpool, as in our opening programme. That was back in August 1964. The 14th Earl, Alec Douglas Hume, was Britain's Prime Minister. Just as in the Soviet Union, though in a rather different style, power would soon change hands. The advertisers of the day were urging us to drink milk, and the word pointer found a place in the English language. The thousands came to welcome home the Beatles from their triumphant American tour that year, but in August theirs was not the sound topping the charts. This was. In cricket, fiery Fred Truman took his 300th Test wicket, but the Ashes belonged to Australia. And on August the 22nd, at the early evening time of 6:30 on BBC Two, Match of the Day was born. An audience of 60,000 saw these goals.
Wallace. Thompson. And is it too high for Callaghan? No. Hunt. It's a goal! Thompson with the corner for Liverpool. Now Callaghan. Who's there? Wallace! It's a goal! Strong again. Easton, a good return, a fine move and a lovely goal by Strong. A lovely goal. That's a beautiful ball to Armstrong. It's Baker. And it's a goal. Baker has equalised. Oh, what a beautiful goal. Glorious goal by Baker. And it's Callaghan. 9 seconds of the game now. It's Wallace. Wallace has scored!
The first goals of Match of the Day, and we'll be jogging the old memory with some real classics later on. George Graham was a Chelsea player in August 1964, but the signs of success with Arsenal were soon to be seen. Beatty away from George. Graham! Kenny Dalglish is another member of that exclusive band who won championship medals as a player and as a manager, or in his case, both.
And Dalglish is in here. Yes!
Dalglish was in his usual place at Wembley, on the bench there this afternoon, but on the field he offered a new face for John Motson to identify.
Innovations in the English game during the 25 years of Match of the Day has been the introduction of overseas players, and 29-year-old Swedish international Glenn Hussein is Liverpool's latest recruit at £600,000 from Italian club Fiorentina. He makes his domestic debut today, having received a work permit earlier this week, and he assures us in his perfect English that his name is pronounced Hussein and not Hyson. But there's no introduction needed for this young man whose goal won the championship. Michael Thomas, still not quite 22, is part of an Arsenal side which shows just one change from the 11 who lined up in that last match at Anfield 11 weeks ago. Steve Bold has a groin strain, so Gus Caesar continues to deputise at number 10 while awaiting a possible suspension for his sending off in Miami last Sunday. And winger Brian Marwood, out of first-team action since last April with Achilles trouble, is named among the substitutes. One of Liverpool's flank players, Ray Houghton, is now ruled out by injury, so it looks as though Steve Nicol will play on the right-hand side of midfield with Venison and Burrows at fullback. Beardsley and Rush are the front pair, so John Aldridge, scorer of 60 goals in the last 2 seasons for Liverpool, starts off as a substitute. And the new Supremo of the Football League, Mr. Bill Fox, the chairman of Blackburn Rovers, second from the left on the front row as we look, sitting next to Liz Kelly, Graham Kelly's wife there. Bill Fox, who was elected president only yesterday. A sizable crowd basking in the Wembley sunshine as referee Alan Gunn of Sussex gets the Charity Shield match started. Liverpool in grey. Lots been said about the fact that Arsenal are trying to beat Liverpool for the 3rd time running. But if they do, they'll become the first London team to win this Charity Shield for 27 years, would you believe? Spurs, the last side from the capital to lift this trophy in 1962. Arsenal were last here 10 years ago, 1979, when they were beaten 3-1 by Liverpool. For whom Hussein brings the ball forward, which is something I think we shall see him do quite a lot. This is Adams for Arsenal. Merson collected that well and found Rocastle. Dixon. Nice interchange. Dixon again. Oh, and he's round the back. And still Dixon. And he got carried away at the end. Can't blame him. It was a lovely run. But perhaps right at the very end of it, he could have just pulled that back to Merson rather than shooting himself. It's very easy to be critical from here, of course. But look at this combination between Dixon and Rocastle. That's clever play by Arsenal. Good understanding. He collected it very coolly indeed. Shook off the attentions of Burrows, and then look, Merson wants it, but it's side netting. Now Barnes, and now Nicol. Rush in the middle. Agonisingly wide for Steve Nicol. Well, a foot either way, it would have been either a goal or maybe a chance for Rush to just push it in, but it beat the goalkeeper, and Adams saw it go wide of the post. So we had a very bright 60 seconds there. O'Leary, Nicol. Beardsley's touch in this first half has been quite magnificent. Every ball that he's played first time has gone unerringly to a colleague. This is McMahon. Hansen. That was Barnes, and Rocastle running back, bumping into David Burrows, and again referee Alan Gunn gives the free kick. "25 minutes gone in the first half. Rush, hit the post, lucky Lukic. It came straight back to him. Ian Rush with a header which might have Arsenal asking a question or two about the marking. Well, John Lukic could do nothing about the header. It was well away from him, but look at that. Another day it might have gone into the net off the post. Rush. Oh, Whelan. Good play by Michael Thomas in defence. He's given Rocastle the chance to start an attack, and look where Thomas is now. That's terrific play. Somebody just got in his way there. I think it might have been Alan Smith, but Michael Thomas there, 1 second back on the edge of his own area, then on the edge of the Liverpool 18-yard box. Here's McMahon. We've been playing for half an hour. It's 0-0. This is Burrows for Liverpool. Barnes. Beardsley. Oh, look at that. Barnes. Bobby Robson would have been pleased to see that move. He's here today. Here's Rush. Whelan. Oh, and Beardsley! Peter Beardsley scores. Barry Venison supplied the cross, and Liverpool are in front. 32 minutes gone. And the FA Cup holders take the lead against the league champions. Venison's cross floated away from John Barnes and his marker Dixon, but Beardsley was unattended. And that's a good finish by the England player. And Barry Venison, a good ball in. Well, Dixon, the fullback, had been drawn into Mark Barnes, but there was somebody missing in the Arsenal defence. Obviously, they'll work that out for themselves, but Beardsley was all alone. And it was completed by him in a tidy fashion. And it reflects the first half that Beardsley has had, because his game technically has been of a very high order. A very high order indeed. Here's Venison's ball in. Now you'll see Dixon go with Barnes here, and Beardsley, look, he's all alone. Stroked in. Whelan, Beardsley, Barnes. Still Barnes has the balance to keep his feet in that sort of position where others might stumble. And in the end, going for the curling shot for the far post. But he did keep upright well there, Barnes, after the initial jostling. Floated it just wide. Winterburn, Smith, and now Thomas, Merson, Winterburn, oh, and Dixon, the other fullback, did well to reach that, exceedingly well. Rocastle, and Richardson. Kevin Richardson's shot some way away. But, when that first cross went in from Winterburn, he didn't quite know where it was going, but Lee Dixon appeared from nowhere and got on the end of it. Another cross from Winterburn, and Grobbelaar had that well within his sights. Smith. Venison blocking up the Arsenal left flank. Half-time then in the Charity Shield, and Liverpool, whose recent fortunes against Arsenal have not been so good, hold sway here thanks to Peter Beardsley's 32nd minute goal. Well taken, and that's the difference between the two teams as they go off on a very warm afternoon, and the Liverpool manager sees his team in front at half-time, and George Graham in the other dressing room has his team talk to do with the champions one down. A generous reception from the Wembley crowd for the England national amputee football team, who last year won the World Indoor Championship. Brave lads, successful as well, and they're getting a very good reception this afternoon. In the light of the Lord Justice Taylor report, Wembley have implemented all the major recommendations. The safety gates in the perimeter fencing have been painted bright yellow. They're being left open during the match, and they're being individually manned by police and stewards. And the standing capacity in each area has been left 15% below the original ceiling figure, as suggested in the Taylor report. No extra time or penalty shootout scheduled today. If this match was drawn in 90 minutes, then the two clubs would share the FA Charity Shield, holding it for 6 months each. And each side allowed to use any two of their nominated 5 substitutes. So particularly with the heat, we may well see a change or two in the second half. Well, it was 3-2 to Liverpool 25 years ago when Ronnie Moran played. So far today, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. Winterburn offside against Smith. Forward by Caesar. Smith's header to Dixon. John Barnes back to challenge. Thomas. Now Venison. Well played by Burrows. This is Barnes. And a typical Ian Rush run, that. Absolutely Ian Rush all over. Moved away from Adams, got himself a couple of yards. The end product not perhaps as good as it could be, but John Barnes saw what was happening, and Rush does that so much. Remember those cup final goals against Everton? In fact, there were 4 of them altogether, I think. But Arsenal are stretched now, and they're going to have to do something about it. And they do have an opportunity here to change the way the team is shaped, because Gus Caesar is being taken off, one of the central defenders, and Brian Marwood, who hasn't played a competitive first-team match since last April, will replace him. Marwood's been playing his way back to fitness through the reserves in pre-season, and he, of course, is an orthodox wide player, which means Arsenal will now only have the flat back 4 and a winger, or an extra forward if you like, up front. You can see George Graham's reasoning there, because the game was starting to go away from Arsenal again. Here's Barnes, one of the reasons why. And that's a good touch from Beardsley, rushes the player chasing. Good tackle, Dixon. McMahon's interception, Rush, then O'Leary. McMahon was in strongly again there, and Arsenal are looking hard at the referee, although there was a handshake between McMahon and O'Leary in the end. Hanson's header. Dixon. Rocastle. McMahon, Rush, that's opened it up a little bit. This is Beardsley, and Rush is going through the centre. Still Beardsley! Good save. John Lukic was, what, 7 yards off his line as Beardsley shaped to shoot, and that positioning paid off by the Arsenal goalkeeper, as you'll see from that. Corner to Liverpool. Hussein. Oh, dear me. There's a present to Beardsley. And O'Leary has to stretch, and this is Barnes, and Rocastle, whose bad pass really put Arsenal in difficulties there in the first place, in trying to make up for his error, committed the foul. That was a case of overcompensation, really, by Rocastle, but it's given Liverpool a threatening position. John Barnes has sized up the angle here. Whelan is there with him. And Whelan pulls it back for Venison, and it hit Rocastle. And now it's McMahon, and Barnes now on the right. Keeps his feet, Beardsley in the middle, so is Rush. And Lukic did well, Beardsley, and that's a corner off David O'Leary, but the goalkeeper, Beardsley, was foiled by him earlier, and there Lukic's clearance from this cross meant that Rush couldn't make it 2-0, as he surely would have done if Lukic hadn't got an arm out. Liverpool still on top then. Funny how goalkeepers pushing the ball out like that can often make the difference as to whether it's a goal or as to where it goes. In the cup final, Everton scored in the last minute when Bruce Grobbelaar could only clear the ball as far as McCall. Well, there, Lukic's touch was strong enough to divert it away from Rush. Well, Liverpool have looked a shade more sprightly in these heavy conditions than Arsenal up to now. And it could well have gone away from Arsenal, the match, but it hasn't. It's still 1-0. This is Adams. Thomas. Oh, nice dummy. Here he is again. But you have the feeling that Liverpool are, in their typical fashion, luring Arsenal forward and then looking for the quick advance. And it has happened right now with Steve Nicol. Nigel Winterburn takes the ball and saves Arsenal. And no Liverpool protest there to the referee. The fans called out for a penalty, but Winterburn takes the credit for a recovery run and shows that you can tackle from behind fairly and take the ball. That's kept Arsenal in the match, there's no question about that. And it's also their corner. O'Leary's up for it, so is Adams. It's gone back to Marwood. Oh, Merson was coming in on that. Here's Burrows. He's had a good match at left-back, David Burrows. And Liverpool are working the ball precisely now. This is McMahon. There are options open to him, right and left, and through the middle. And here's Burrows. Good move. And it hit David O'Leary. What a terrific goal that would have been. And Burrows having a splendid match here. He's got competition for that left-back spot from the likes of Ablett and Staunton, and he seems to be on top of his game. £500,000 signing, though, last season from West Brom. So they'll be expecting something from him, and Liverpool were expecting something earlier from Stevie Nicol, because he broke clear. Now watch Nigel Winterburn come in from behind. Most cases here, this would have been a penalty, but he gets his leg wrapped right round the ball. And he took the ball fairly, said the referee. Arsenal are going to make their second substitution. It's one tall striker for another here. Alan Smith is going off. And he'll be replaced by Niall Quinn, Republic of Ireland international, who's been frustrated by his lack of first-team opportunity in the last couple of years. Dixon. Barnes has come through everybody now. They've got a 2 against 1. Rush has gone to the right. Arsenal scampering back. Winterburn was there, and a foul by Michael Thomas on John Barnes. In by Barnes, here's Rush. Good save. And Rush again, but only as far as Winterburn. John Lukic again extending himself effectively for Arsenal. Oh, it was swung wide beautifully to Marwood. And Hansen this time takes charge. But Liverpool just hesitating a bit defensively there when the ball came out. There's Venison. Marwood again. Here's Thomas. And Rocastle. And Marwood. 5 players waiting for a cross. Quinn! Well, Arsenal have looked a more potent force since Marwood and Quinn came on. One to supply the crosses, the other one to jump for them. Beardsley's touch. Here comes Rush. And he held that up nicely for Whelan. This is Barnes. Waiting for Burrows to come down the left. Oh, what a good little ball. And Rush was waiting. McMahon is there too. McMahon hoping to get on the end of a very good move. Barnes was involved on the left with Burrows, and these two have combined really well down here. In fact, I've been very impressed by Burrows' performance at left back. This is Hansen, meantime, who hasn't put a foot wrong. Back as captain too, incidentally, Hansen. Whelan had the job last season while Hansen was injured. Foul. Adams on Rush. Well, Liverpool less than 5 minutes away from retaining the Charity Shield, which they won here. Kenny Dalglish's team beat Wimbledon a year ago. They're now leading 1-0 against Arsenal and have made the chances to have increased that lead, really. Here's Whelan. Barnes. Beardsley. One or two players tiring a bit now. It's a very humid afternoon. Here's Beardsley, who's certainly got through his share of work. You can see a trophy just a minute or so away. Here's Merson, though, trying to do something about that. Quinn is waiting for a cross. And it's coming. Barnes. Beardsley, what a good little turn. And a good pass too to Rush. He wanted the return at first, but Rush saw a way through himself. Liverpool rather more comfortable winners here than 1-0 might suggest. They made the chances to have scored more. And it's the FA Charity Shield again for Liverpool, thanks to Beardsley's goal. They retain the trophy and get some small measure of revenge for what Arsenal have done to them in recent meetings. John Lukic fully extended in the second half. And George Graham's thoughts that Kenny Dalglish's team would be even more determined this season, if that's possible, fully borne out by that performance.
So Liverpool's Alan Hansen collected the first additional trophy of the season. And the manner of his team's victory in the Tenants Charity Shield before a crowd of 63,000 would have added to the worry lines on the faces of the 19 other First Division managers. And for the captain of Sweden, Glenn Hussein, a winner's medal on his first competitive appearance for his new club.
Well, I'm quite satisfied with this game. But like I told before to the journalists, it's very easy to play together with those guys here in Liverpool. They're brilliant players, everybody, so it's quite easy to fit in.
Do you think it was psychologically important for Liverpool to win?
I think it was quite important to win, to prove that because they lost the last game last season, and they lost it in this tournament. And I think it was quite important for the players to get the confidence again that we can beat them.
Did you see that match at the end of last season when Arsenal?
I saw it on television, yes.
That's what you didn't think at the time that you'd end up as a Liverpool player, did you?
No, I thought I was a Manchester United player then, but
I think everybody did.
things changes, and I'm very satisfied to be here.
Yeah. I know it's difficult, but what would you say were your particular attributes as a player? How would you describe yourself as a player?
Well, I'm a true defender, and I think I'm quite good in the air. I think I can read the game, because I'm not too quick, so I have to be there before the others. Good size to be a defender. It's no idea to hurry with the ball, just take it easy and play it very simple.
Even in the first 5 minutes, I thought we looked a bit jaded. We looked definitely not 1 yard slower. I thought we looked 2 yards slower all around the pitch. And basically, I think the only person who would be satisfied with today's performance really would be John Lukic. So really, you know, individually and collectively, apart from Lukic, we look way below par.
George Graham rather despondent there, Jim, but a plus and a minus for England in that match.
Yes, it was an excellent performance by Liverpool, and the new lad, Hussein, I'm not looking forward to England having to play against him. I mean, he looks formidable, very experienced, and he's a big plus. Yeah, for Sweden as well as Liverpool. But Peter Beardsley, magnificent form today. A very inventive player. When he's fresh, as he is at the start of the season, he can unlock any defence. He always has an idea up his sleeve. Something doesn't quite work, he reacts quickly and tries something else. Super game, and I hope he keeps that form, certainly for the next few weeks.
Well, he was on the winning side, but there were some England players on the losing side playing for Rangers, the Scottish champions today. They lost 1-0 at the start of their league campaign to St Mirren, and Chris Woods, the England goalkeeper, was carried off with an injured shoulder. Well, time now to put a few candles on the anniversary cake. Some matchless moments from the stars of the show, the players.
Green changing direction so well. Oh, beautiful football. What a great goal. Fabulous goal. Still Curry. What about that? A quality goal by a quality player. Crawford there. 2-0 for Manchester. Davis is on the far side. Ainsley coming square. That's the ball. That's a good try. What a goal! McDermott. Oh, that was beautiful. Terry McDermott has chipped the goalkeeper. Souness. Brilliant goal. His first for Liverpool. Nothing more with the scorer. Brian Talbot. Hour. Oh, a save and a goal. Oh, Brady got it beautifully. Look at that! Oh, look at that! And Ryan got the ball. It's a flick on by Waddle. And there it is! And of course, it's Kevin Keegan. Who else? Dalglish, beautiful turn. Oh, and Arthur Rush got a perfect through ball. And what a brilliant goal! Oh, with a beautiful piece of skill. What a magnificent goal by Glenn Hoddle. Regis making it well on the chest and a lovely piece of control by Regis. Oh, and what a great shot! Oh, what a goal to see! Still Regis. Looking for Shaw. He got behind Lawrence and there it's Shaw. What a fantastic goal! An unbelievable finish from Graham Shaw. Brock's won it. He won it from Brock. He's got Beardsley going to his left. Still Barnes. That's a fabulous individual goal.
What a goal in a few different tones, all of them excitable. Action first has always been our aim, but back in March 1967, when Coventry played Bolton, the editor of the day came up with the idea of asking the home manager to give us a summary at half-time.
The goal came just at the right time for us. I'm only hoping that in the second half we shall be able to spread the game out a little bit more. I felt we closed in, and wingers came in a bit too tight at times, although it did lead to the goal. But in the second half, playing with the wind, if we can spread our game out, open up the defence a bit more sideways, I think we should have a chance of clinching 2 points for a much-needed promotion battle.
It didn't quite work out, did it? Because the result was 1-1.
No, it didn't. The players obviously didn't listen. But more than that, in the evening when I was proudly sitting at home with the family, waiting for this piece of television to come up, you know, as a television star, we didn't go on much in those days, and all of a sudden it came up, and the same take was played twice. What I'd done 2 takes in the, at half-time. I was asked to do the 2 takes, and when they played them in the evening, instead of editing one and putting that on, they left the beginning and the last end. And I sat at home looking an absolute idiot, wondering what the hell was happening. But there you are.
The editing's improved a bit since then.
It has. It's become very sophisticated. I mean, now a game of 90 minutes can be compressed into 20 minutes, and you feel you've seen the whole game. In those early days, I understand. I know not very much about it myself, I have to confess, but with the physical editing, a player took a throw-in and actually was seen that evening throwing the ball to himself, which is one of the miracles of the world.
And was immediately capped, presumably. Talking about players, what has television done for them?
I think it's made life more difficult for them. It creates an extra glamour, but on the other hand, and of course, creates more money at the end of the day in the game, but it makes it more difficult because they're under such close scrutiny in close-ups, and if they commit a brutal offence, then it's there for the whole world to see, and they have to live with it for a long, long time. And also, balancing it out, if they are part of a beautiful goal or score it, as we've just seen, those wonderful goals from the past, that's indelibly printed forever. Same with referees. The pressure is on them because they're under close scrutiny. But I think in their case, the public have come to realise what a difficult job it is being a referee with those very, very tight decisions, and have really got round to their way of thinking. And most of them, as we know, tend to be right at the end of the day.
Player evidence, you know.
Well, one of the things that will have to happen in the future, I think it's a bit unfair to players in that sometimes that television evidence is used against them when they've committed an offence, and I don't think up to now it's used in their defence, and I think that seems slightly unfair. That's something for the future.
What about the audience?
The young audience, the best thing, and not the bad things for players to do, is the perfect pattern that they can see of the way the game is played by the best players in the world. And the young are so good at copying, it's an advantage I don't think they had in the old days that they've got now. So, marvellous for them.
On the whole, a good thing, television for football?
Well, yes, I suppose it is a good thing. The only disadvantage for me is if you're brought up in Norwich or Hull or somewhere like that, I think there's a tendency to fall in love with Liverpool or a glamour club, and as a result of that, you're lost to your local club. That's a disadvantage, but clubs mustn't accept it. They've got to fight back against it, encourage the local community from a very early age to come and watch their particular club. And if I may dare say it, you know, to hell with the glamour clubs.
Well, one thing, Jimmy, the changes in television have meant is that Match of the Day these days has a subtitle, The Road to Wembley. And we'll be back with the full story of the FA Cup with the first round on November the 18th. But by then, the BBC will, with the hopes of the home countries and Jack Charlton's Irish, be well down the World Cup road to Rome. Sweden in Stockholm on September the 6th is the next qualifying test for England. We'll be there. Now, you know, in the season that Match of the Day began, England didn't lose a game. Sweden were beaten 2-1. A good omen, I trust. Good night.